Hello! All you Bobby Soxers!
Hey, peace, y'all. What's going on?
What up, everybody? Happy Sunday.
Yeah, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Welcome to the party. Yeah, it's the first December joint. Yeah.
Oh, sure is.
And we are at the party.
We are at hit the volume.
Right. And on top of that, we're at the 80th show.
Oh,
This
wow.
is the 80th episode, my dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't turn it all the way.
Yeah,
We gotta
so
do something special for show 100.
we do.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree. I think that would be freaking amazing. Peace, everybody. Welcome to Substantial Sundays. Y'all let us know if there are any issues with the sound and stuff like that. Another week, it's always a struggle with the technical issues and stuff. I am looking forward to the day. I'm looking forward to the day where we have a situation where we have a designated tech person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that day will come. You know what I mean? Like sooner than later. But in the meantime, it is a struggle still, and I apologize for that. But you're here, and that's all that matters. So, welcome to Substantial Sundays. I am Substantial.
Chris?
That right there is Sherm The Barber. That right there is J Cash. Make sure you say peace. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and most important, make sure you share the link. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on them notifications. All that good stuff. You know what I mean? So now that side of the way, we're gonna jump into some things. Gentlemen, how was your weekend? What did you get into? All that good stuff.
My weekend was nothing this week. This was a pretty boring weekend, man.
Okay.
I legitimately did not do anything.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
Great talk. You know?
That's I have nothing. It was like nothing. I just worked, man.
I feel you. It's like that sometimes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's a slow period right now, so I didn't do anything intentionally. It's a slow period with at the shop. My car is down. Got to get that shit fixed.
Gotcha.
Got to get shit done in Nicole's car. So yeah, I'm not
it's real
doing
right now.
anything right now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's real. How about you, Kat?
Volume is a little low, methinks.
Volume's a little low.
Jonathan.
All right, no problem. Hold on. I'll get that for you. Hold on, I got you. Hold up. Let's try this first. All right, and then we'll do that. Maybe take that off. All right, let us know if that's a little better, Johnny. All right. I took the little pad off or whatever, which means if we have little outburst moments with all crazy, it might peak a little bit.
Okay.
But we will see. We're gonna roll the dice. Cash, how was your weekend, man?
Pretty chill.
Yeah.
Big sports weekend this past weekend, so I caught tons of college football. Caught Maryland's 10th win in a row. Go Terps. Boxing match that happened last night. Watched my nephew.
Anybody box?
It was pretty big, huh?
Oh yeah. I saw that.
It
I
was
saw
two
the
boxing matches.
info on it.
Yeah.
Was posted. Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know, it's that time of the year where everybody's kind of gearing up for, pagan holiday. So nobody's really doing much of that.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of activity going right now.
Okay.
Yeah, how about yours, man? Man, what is happening? Oh, a lot of music activity. T. Lucas came through. We worked on some music. Steph is real close to the deadline for her holiday project, so I finished dropping a heater.
Oh, I thought she put, because I saw something on Spotify.
She dropped a single for the joint.
Oh, okay.
But the whole joint hasn't dropped yet.
Okay.
And I definitely laid my verse down for it. And it's a Bob Alloy joint for the project too. So Marcus D did the beat. I got the bars, and Steph is doing what she does, working that magic on the vocals. So working on that stuff, man. Taking care of some business with clientele and stuff, man. We just picked up a new client. Shout out to Dooney Wright, MC based in the DMV by way of Zambia, I think he's from originally. But yeah, brother's been putting in work a long time. He's worked with some legends like the Jungle Brothers and other people.
Was he at the?
Yes, he was at the Cypher.
Okay,
yeah. So yeah, man. So shout out to him for signing on with us. Speaking of which, man, like you see, it's a whole lot packing over there. Y'all can't see it on the screen, hopefully. But yeah, man, we just
getting ready to move into that new space.
Yeah. You seen the pictures?
Yeah,
man. Yeah, so a lot of work going into our new space. It's exciting.
Y'all be glad to get some of this stuff up out here.
What's crazy is how much stuff we've already taken there, and it doesn't feel like we've moved much. You know what I'm saying? And so so all this whole pile over here is about to go. It's mostly about half tools and other stuff, man.
You want to turn this back into a bedroom?
Nah, it's still gonna be studio. Yeah. So like I was explaining to somebody yesterday, like most like it's just gonna be focused mostly on like Shell's fashion, our music, of course us like meeting and handling whatever biz we can at home. But we on average gonna be doing like 4 hours a day at the actual office and stuff, sometimes longer. Handling our consultations there and all of that. So yeah, man, exciting, dude. Like, and we got some dope plans for some stuff we're gonna do with, some murals and stuff on the walls, and then I don't want to sight it too much, but yeah, it's gonna be dope. And hopefully y'all get to see it soon too, because the goal is once it's set up and once it's ready, that's where we'll be filming Substantial Sundays, making it a little bit less of a hype for y'all. You know what I mean? And and we'll still probably gonna have the door issue because of the facility, but yeah, infinite parking though. The parking will not be a problem at this point. You know what I mean? So there's that. But yeah, man, exciting time, son. You know what I mean?
Johnny, I see you, Johnny.
Shout out to everybody up here. Johnny's up in this joint. My man Calvin's up in here.
Hey, what up,
Maeva? What up, Maeva?
What up, Maeva?
Shout out to Maeva. She had a winter concert recently. Clap it up for her. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And also, what else? Shout out for you making it. You're almost through your second semester of high school, Maeva. How's it feel? You know what I mean? You definitely have been hitting me up a lot less complaining about high school. So I'm happy about that. Gonna threw you under the bus a little bit. Like you still. Shout out to Chris Baldwin up in here, moving up in this joint. CD, peace, and all that good stuff. So, lots been happening, bruh. A lot has been happening in sports. Had some amazing movies drop, some pretty crazy trailers have dropped as well, and I'm like I haven't really been paying much attention on the music front because I've been like anytime I'm usually making a lot, I haven't been listening to a lot. And so, but yeah, so you want to set it off with the music before we jump into all this stuff?
Well, it's not a whole lot. Only thing that came out that I was paying any attention to was Add 2. The Jim Crow right? musical. Yeah. A dope album. It's real nostalgic. It's got a real like early 2000s feel.
That's always been his MO.
Yeah. He keeps it real Jimmy. It's jewels all over that thing. Right. It's a dope project though. It's a really good project. You should definitely check it out. Like I said, it's Jim Crow the musical by Add 2, ADD-2. And he's fire. But yeah, that's it. And I found out that Elle Varner put a project out last year.
Elle Varner?
Yeah. You never heard of Elle Varner?
I gotta see the
She did a song with J. Cole on Give It To You, something like that.
No, not really.
Yeah, she's dope.
You gotta check it out.
You said which album? Oh, this was off of Elle Varner's album. Her first project. I forgot what her first project was called, but yeah. She put out a joint called Elevation.
You heard Slum Village? Chris was just asking.
Yeah, nah, I'm not checking Slum Village anymore.
Yeah,
Bella's not here and Elzot's not in the group. So yeah, I'm not really trying to listen to a bunch of T3, Illa J, and what is it? R whatever the other. Yeah. I'm not listening to that. That or Games. not interested.
Tell us how you really feel.
There's no need. Like, I mean, Games already done all the Games is gonna do.
No.
And Fabulous has already done all the Fabulous is gonna do. Oh yeah. Fabulous Fabulous capped out with the Soul tapes. To me, he can't do anything better than the Soul tapes because he wasn't rapping about all the bullshit. So yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. Miles B just brought up something that is in my queue to watch. Madlib and Freddie Gibbs did a Tiny Desk performance.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I
interesting.
definitely want to see that joint. I got it queued up.
Somebody said something about Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, it said that they've been listening to Ventura. Yeah,
okay.
it is.
That's classic.
Yeah, it's a great album. I still feel how I feel about the last track, but we ain't gonna harp on that.
What was the last track?
I ain't crazy about the Nate Dogg joint. That has not changed for me. That has not changed for me.
Which one?
He has a track with Nate Dogg at the very end. Like you feel some nostalgia because it's Nate Dogg, right? But it is not the best song on the record. It's hands down. It's hands down my.
I like it because it's an outro song.
It's fun.
Okay.
What would you do? What would you do? What would you do?
What can we do?
There you go.
Hey, what can we do?
Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. I still love Nate, but
That's a decent song, man.
On an album filled with amazing songs, right? It's a decent song on an album filled with amazing songs. So we'll get
I
those.
got to study now.
What about
just drop by to say peace and Wakasha? And it's still fuck Baby Yoda. And it's still fuck Baby Yoda.
Hey, yo, man.
Yes, I hate that little thing, man.
Man.
Like every
episode. You wasn't here for that, was you?
Oh, no, you were not.
Yeah, so you don't know about Wakasha.
Oh, yeah. Every
Right.
episode, I'm just waiting. I want something to hit him or something. I just want something to happen to him. I don't like Baby Yoda.
What is wrong with Baby Yoda?
Cute, man.
He's too cute.
He's too cute. I don't like the little cooey noises, the little cute baby noises. Nah, man. Yoda supposed to have some gravel in his voice, even as a baby.
Scene where he was eating the frog and the kids were like, and he was like, I guess I should spit this out.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
No, that wasn't nasty. They even made that shit cute.
I mean, I don't know. Spitting out a frog was.
Man.
We got different ideas of what cute is. Sure?
Nah, dog. I hate Baby Yoda. I love the show. I hate Baby Yoda. I just want something to just knock him down.
You know what? I feel like the show is slowing down, man. I think it's too much focus on just cute cameos with Yoda and not a lot of descriptive details. It's like the one thing I learned from the episode before the last episode, which was episode 4, was that he hasn't taken his helmet off, and since he became a man.
Yeah.
But once he takes it off,
other than that, it's just like, okay, where are we going? Are you still on a run? You know what I mean? Like this last episode, he meets somebody else, who then he goes out and attacks.
Well, I think it's just the life of a Mandalorian. It's a warrior, and so he just
that's why I said they have to, in my opinion, get somewhere with this story.
I don't know.
It's kind of like I feel like it's the best description I have heard of the show yet, and I wasn't able to find the words, and then I heard somebody else say it, and I was like, that is it. It's Star Wars the Western. You know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like. It's Star Wars the Western. And so, and if you I don't know about y'all, I've watched a ridiculous amount of Western. Like low key, I like Western, right? And so, that being said,
he goes to a salon, he meets somebody new. It's another mission, he goes out.
Yeah, the little, you got the little Mexican standoff in one of the shows and stuff. Yeah, so it's. I feel like some Westerns are like that. Like, you feel some movement in the plot, but then there's parts where it lulls, right? And so I feel like it's kind of like the calm before the storm. We even had some big stuff happen, and we still having major things that happen each episode. It's just they're not as big as what happened in, what was that, episode 4?
Yeah.
Right? And so maybe 4 and 3.
He came back for him and he got him. That was the climax of the season so far.
Yeah.
When he was like, "Now hold up, let me go back and get my baby."
You know what I mean?
So
yeah, but I feel like, because how many episodes is this?
5.
Well, no. I'm saying I think it's supposed to be
2 more left.
Yeah, 8, right? Yeah, 8 total. So if we're at 5 right now, usually what happens, the episode before the last episode is usually when the biggest thing happens, and then the last episode is kind of like wrapping, wrapping stuff up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you know, we'll see.
But that motherfucking Watchmen.
Oh, you're not in there with us?
No. It's in my queue.
Yo, you haven't watched it yet.
You still haven't? Oh, dog. I'm sorry. Spoilers are out, bro. That show has been out.
Watchmen is the best shit on TV.
Yeah,
Watchmen is the best shit on TV.
Fire, dog.
Yeah,
Hey, the last episode.
Dog.
Hey, so did you peep the little gem though? The elephant in the room.
Yes.
That was never addressed.
Yes.
They never addressed the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Nice little, it's a little
literally
gem that they drop in there.
Literally had an elephant in the room with the IV like that was connected to her, and like it was wild.
But then you wonder what it's like. So when I saw it, I'm like, okay, what is this in reference to? Until you see the next few scenes.
Yes,
and it's like, oh shit,
dog,
it's going down big, dog.
Hey, man.
It's going down
Watchmen is the big shit on TV.
When she took the hammer out, I'm like, what's this? Like, what is... And my man was confused, and I was confused with him, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? You're going crazy.
Yo, it's crazy.
Yeah, that episode was so dope, man. That's why you need to get on that joint, dog.
Watchmen, it's the best shit on TV, man.
I'll watch Watchmen.
Yeah, trailers. I've seen some dope trailers. What was it? They just dropped the Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. The shit looks dope. There's like a clip of her literally with her she's lassoing lightning. Like it's no other way to describe it. Like she's literally in the sky, like doing something, and you see her with her she's lassoing from lightning bolt to lightning bolt. That might have been like some of the most epic shit I've seen in a trailer for a comic recently. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's not a fan of the Wonder Woman franchise.
You gotta sell me on that, cause
I ain't gonna sell you, because if I like it, I don't really care. It
was a cool movie.
I enjoyed it, but yeah, man. I would just say check out the trailer. It looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. Matter of fact, the actor from The Mandalorian, the guy who plays the Mandalorian, I think he's the main villain in the movie. He's the brother from, I forget his name, but he's the brother from.
This is familiar.
No, he's from Narcos. He's
a black guy?
No, he's not a black guy. He's Latino. But he was the main dude who was working with the white officer. Yeah. That dude has been getting a lot of work. I'm sorry, I forget his name. But yeah, no, man. He plays the main antagonist in the movie. And then they have the villain Cheetah, who's played by I forget her name. I'm forgetting names like a mug right now. But she's played by the woman from Bridesmaid. She had the blonde hair. She was like the main one. She was like a comedian or whatever. Super funny. That's a funny ass movie though. It's a great flick. But anyway, I saw that trailer. It looks really dope. Also saw the trailer for the new Bond movie.
Oh yeah.
It's Daniel Craig's last Bond movie. Daniel Craig has played Bond longer than any other person has played Bond. I think he's played Bond for 15 years now.
They announced who's next.
They have not. There was rumors going around that this black woman who's in it, she actually played Monica Rambeau in Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel's friend. There was rumors that she was taking on the mantle of 007. But based on the preview, she's a 00 agent who's kind of replaced him because he retired. But she's not 007 technically. But when you see the trailer, like, you know, he's real cool doing what he does, but like she's like real like on some like military move. Like when you see her move through a room, it's just like, yo, she mean business. But like the trailer for the Bond movie look crazy. Yeah, it definitely look crazy. We got a newbie? Who's a newbie?
Monica Rodriguez.
Monica's been in here a couple times. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the Spaniard from Game of Thrones. Yes, he is. Peace, Monica. Way to come in the clutch with that info.
Hey, man.
What's up? Here we go.
I just was reminded of a joke from Saturday Night Live last night, man.
Yo, Saturday Night Live
last night.
Yes. Was the baby on the one last night?
Yeah, but it's the one where they were doing the news joint, and the dude was like, it's okay. So Monica Rodriguez just reminded me of this because it was such a racist Spanish joke. What was it?
Sister. The Sisters joint.
But what was he saying before?
He was like Halloween should be like
Easter. Yeah, he was like Easter.
Yeah, he was like,
and he said, well, what about
Easter?
No, he said Easter. We said, what about Easter?
Yeah.
And just like
Everyone
that.
Stops and
so he's like, yeah. He's like, what did he say?
Yo, he was like, it should be now Easter for Latinas or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, it's just
my man. I was like, yeah, I think you gotta go now.
Yeah, you gotta go. You know what was really, really dope on there was the this was an older episode, but did you see when Will Ferrell was on there?
I did.
Where they did the whole Native American joint?
No, yes, I did. Oh, he killed that.
Dog.
Yeah, they killed that shit.
That Native American Will Ferrell sketch that came on around Thanksgiving might have been one of the best sketches.
Yeah, they were killing.
Because they basically was flipping, like the Native Americans were on some like how a lot of our Red Hat crew be out here and like sitting up there talking about protecting our borders.
Yeah,
like talking about like building walls.
They were killing. How they even addressed the fact that they were using white people to depict Native American characters.
Yes,
even address that shit.
Hey, dog.
Saturday Night Live is the shit, man.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah, send me a reminder on that.
Yeah, will do. Nah, it was a great episode. But yeah, definitely if you it was because last night had J-Lo on it.
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy's coming up on that joint soon.
Oh yeah,
month. Yeah. This month I was watching Eddie Murphy on Ellen, and he's supposed to be on there real soon. And I forget who the musical guest is. The musical guest is supposed to be somebody big too. Oh, Lizzo is supposed to be on there as well. But yeah, man. So let's get into the movie in the title. I know you haven't seen it, Cash. I'm sorry.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen Queen and Slim, man, I highly recommend Queen and Slim. Queen and Slim at this point in time is hands down my favorite movie that came out this year. There's still some movies on my list that I have not seen. Like I still want to see Waves. Waves looks really dope. I still haven't seen Knives Out. Knives Out looks entertaining as well. But yeah, Knives Out. I mean, it's stellar cast. It looks
Ready or Not.
Ready or Not.
She was really entertaining.
Who's
it's probably basically the same thing as Knives Out.
Okay.
I can't name any of the characters. But it's a family whose legacy is built on gaming. Yeah. And now like everybody that comes to the family, they gotta play a game. But the game can be fucked up.
One game in particular,
you
have to go see.
Yeah.
If you select that game, but they're coming for you, but they're coming to kill you.
Yeah, you're not.
You never survive.
But it's like I'm not going to sit here and say it's a great movie.
Right.
It's not a bad movie. Oh, it's entertaining as fuck. Like it's super entertaining.
Hey, I'll check it out. Two things. One, I forgot to mention the fact the Black Widow trailer did come out. That joint looked hard body karate as well. But another movie I did see, but we're gonna focus on Queen and Slim. But I did see The Irishman. The Irishman was hard.
I still can't finish that.
The Irishman is hard.
That's 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
I ain't got it. I got an hour 15 through and saw the time and was like,
I did see a scene where Robert De Niro walks by a guy who was waiting for him outside and he just murks him right there on the street.
And it's based off and what you're seeing is it's based off a true story, but it's based off a book by the guy who actually admitted to killing Jimmy Hoffa. So a lot of what you're seeing is based on actual events. And there's the story that they're telling, when you see how long the book is, there's no way to make a good 2-hour movie out of that story. It's just not possible. Because it's way too much character development. And granted, we all know who Jimmy Hoffa is, or most of us know who Jimmy Hoffa is. A good amount of people don't know about the main character in the movie and the people associated with him. I will say that I think that Joe Pesci might get a Best Supporting Actor nod for his role in it, because we've seen him as the real hype yelling at people, but he's just the smooth dude. Everybody knows this dude is the man, and the way he just handles it is what it is. This is what has to happen. He's either talk to him and get him chill out, or it is what it is. I'm saying this is so I would definitely
The Irishman ain't art.
I mean, you know, to each his own, right? And, you know, you up here, you mad at Scorsese because of what he said about Marvel. You know what I mean? I will say this about The Irishman, and we got to focus on Queen and Slim because I definitely want to. There's so much I want to say about that. I will say this about The Irishman, where The Irishman like suffers for me, because overall I love it. I think it's a great movie. But where it suffers for me and where I think it needed work is in the more violent scenes. Like there's a scene where where De Niro like somebody did something to his daughter, so he went to go see dude and you know he's supposed to go and beat the hell out of him. His age was shown.
Oh, you talking about when he stomped dude out? Dog, them little stomps. I'm like, yo, they shouldn't have done this. Like they should have had a stunt double for this.
Like there should have definitely been a cutaway. There should have been a lot.
He had the old man arms and everything. Yo, like you could tell he was trying so hard to keep his balance.
And what's crazy is like that. I mean, yo, like it's. And look, and I'm just holding them at the standard I would of any scene like that in a movie, right? Like I'm a dude that like anybody enjoys action, right? And I enjoy that stuff being portrayed well. And because of the fact that Scorsese, like we've seen him execute that type of stuff well a million times in other flicks. So yeah, like that right there was probably the only blemish in the movie for me.
Bad.
But it was really
stands
bad.
Out. Yeah, it stands out.
Like it was really bad.
I thought I was overanalyzed. I'm looking at this shit like, it looks like this nigga's like 95 years old.
But see, that's the thing. Because of the fact that Scorsese's arguably one of the it's not even arguable. It's not even. You can't even argue the fact if he's one of the greatest. He's one of the greatest movie directors of all time, right? Like I don't even think that's a debate. What is an issue though is that like regardless of someone being an amazing director and having a dope track record, yeah, there's always gonna be chinks in somebody's armor, and like in that particular moment, like I felt like the movie failed me for like that little minute-long scene in the 3-hour plus joint.
Yeah, it was really revealing.
It's one of those like you're in a joint and you feel like you're there. And then like something happens like that, and then it's like you remember, oh, I'm watching a movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then it's like, then they gotta win me over again.
Yeah.
And I think there's a part of me that because of the fact, like he came out and was recently shitting on like Marvel movies and stuff like that. Of course, you know, you watching the joint like, all right, everything you gotta do from this point on gotta be flawless.
Perfect now.
Because you out here like, because that's something that they do well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. But anyway, Queen and Slim. Sherm, your impressions leaving the theater, seeing Queen and Slim.
That was a great movie, particularly for black people, black couples, in particular. Even more to be even more specific, anybody can see it, but it's speaking to our people. I'm sorry, it's speaking to our people, and there are so many jewels in this joint, man. Just about being black and having to deal with another, like, so you have two oppressed beings that have to figure out how to find love through oppression. And I think we don't look at that, like we don't give that enough validation at times. Like, if you're black in this country, like there's never a time when you're not going to be oppressed. Like, it doesn't matter what year it is. I hope no one on this stream thinks that there is no such thing as oppression. There will always be a such thing as oppression as long as this place is called the US of fucking A. So you got these two people that have to figure out how to find, like, you already said that, so I don't need to repeat that, but that's dope. The cop perspective is fucking dope. They don't just give you one cop, they give you every cop, so you have to go through every emotion that you have ever had about cops. Like, this is not just one of those, just an FTP joint. And that's what I was hoping that it was. I just wanted to go in there and be like, yeah, fuck the fucking police, the whole movie. And you're like that for a second, like they make you feel like that. And then they give you a hard shift, and it's like, yep, but what about these guys? And then you're like, oh, wait. Yeah, it's a really, like, I could talk for the rest of the night, but that's unfair to my other fucking host here, so I'm gonna stop talking because
What do you think visually though?
Yeah, the visual,
magical, man. The shit was, oh my god, one more thing, do it. The the visuals, the way that they captured the color on these two people. These motherfuckers black as shit, and they are black. Oh my god. Nigga, the way they capture their color, dog. The way they capture their fucking color. Yeah. Because like you don't get to see that a whole lot with the two stars both being dark skinned and that fucking dark. That's right. And then she cuts them. Dog, when she I know she cut that's kind of a that's not really a spoiler. Nah, so when she cuts her hair and that it's like her neck goes from 4 inches to like 9. Oh shit. Hey, yeah. Oh, I'm touching myself. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but they do such a good job with the visuals. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love my color, and I love it so much because I was taught to dislike it for so long. So that's why I'm on this right now. Like the color is so vivid, the black is so vivid. Oh, you can see every. Oh, yes. I'm done.
You want a napkin?
I don't need one. I don't need one. I don't need one.
All right. You know what I'm saying? He busting. He's over here just messing up his pants. So listen. Yo, like, I mean, everything Sherm has said is spot on, man. I would say more so than finding love, it's like finding freedom in the midst of being oppressed, right? Like, because oppression, like, doesn't just take away your physical freedom. It takes away your mental freedom as well. And what's wild is they're on the run, so they're being chased, right? But they're still, even though they have not been caught yet, they're still trying to find a way to be free and completely honest with each other in the midst of all of that. And like, I think that for a lot of people of color in this country, specifically black people, because I can only speak for myself, and in the perspective I see of the different people I come across, yeah, man, like trying to find a way to be free in a situation that is absolutely designed to keep you from being just that, and then trying to balance like the anger and frustration and the hostility of that situation with day-to-day life, right? Like, still being able to laugh.
He did such a good job.
Still being able to laugh at things, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, still, like, being able to find love in that situation. Yeah. When, like, had it not went that way, they wouldn't have, like, the relationship would have ended.
It would have been done,
right?
Yeah. It wouldn't have been a movie.
Yo, it's it's just so...
Can I give my line of the movies?
Yo,
can I get my line of the movie?
There's so many lines in that movie.
This is my line of the movie. He need us to worship him. Yo, out there, he ain't shit. But in here, he a king. Oh my god, my god.
Hey, bro,
she's shit.
Yo, not her.
No.
So
don't even say it.
We can't say too much without giving a whole lot of spoilers. We'll talk off camera about that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but
that shit right there, like if you put that shit in the context, that is a powerful fucking line. If you take out he need us to worship him. It's not about like just take out the worship. Black women take out the worship. It's not worship. It's but what it is it's whatever is needed for whatever situation. Yeah. And for his situation, he need us to worship him.
Yo, so Pete, so that it struck a major chord with me. I don't know if any of y'all have read the 5 love languages or actually done the test for yourself. Hey, Garrett, what's up, Garrett? Peace, man.
What the fuck?
Wow, what up, man? Hey, for those who don't know, which is most of y'all, Garrett's like one of our homies from the high school.
Way back.
Man. Yeah, shout out to Garrett. But anyway, so if you are familiar with the 5 love languages, one of those love languages is words of affirmation. So when I did the test, I found out that my number 1 was words of affirmation. So like that particular part struck a chord with me because it's part of the reason why, like, at this age I'm at now where like I don't necessarily have to tour or be out all the time to feel validated and feel like my life has value, right? Like I am perfectly fine. I've built my kingdom, right? I've built my home in a way where everything that I feel like I need within these walls is here. More importantly, everyone I need the most, right? Not everyone I need, but the ones I need the most are safe and sound here, and we got each other. And like, yo, the validation that I get from those people, from my daughters and my wife, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't have to walk out the door with like something to prove all the time, because I know when I'm out in the world how I'm gonna be treated, how I'm gonna be viewed, you know what I mean? And so the peace I find in my home, there's nothing that compete with that. So that line, man, was so real, powerful, man.
Yeah.
I highly recommend checking it out.
In the theaters.
Yeah, in the theaters. Yo, so here's the dopest part. I know you got a question. Yeah. The dopest part for me seeing it was the fact that I saw it at 10:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, and the theater was at 90% capacity. About 10:30 in the morning on a it was. That's such a crazy thing that literally when I posted and said that, the woman who directed the movie wrote me directly in my comment.
Oh, wow.
She was like, damn, on a Tuesday morning? I was like, yeah, yo, it was beautiful. Job well done. You're amazing. And this, I don't want to mess the sister's name up. What was it? I think she's like black and like Greek or something like that. So her last name is hard to say. At least for me, you know what I'm saying? Speak from a dancer. Melina Matsoukas. She's the woman who directed Lemonade for Beyonce. And like in those videos, the videos and stuff like that. Yeah, and it was written by Lena the sister who writes The Shot, creator of The Shot. Yeah, it's a great show. And you know, she also is the one who wrote the Thanksgiving episode for Master of None.
Watch that show.
Woo, bruh. Bruh. That's the Nuns dope. And the Thanksgiving episode is what made Lena Waithe, like, you know, because she won an Emmy for that particular episode. And that episode was directed by Melina Matsoukas as well, who did that. And it's one of the dopest episodes on that show. So if you've never watched Master of None, highly recommend checking that show out. But in particular, check out the Thanksgiving episode. Your question, I'm sorry.
All right, so what was your take on the community response to what had happened in the movie?
So you talking about like the community's response in the movie or the community out the real world?
No, I'm talking about within the movie. Like, give me a quick synopsis of how they responded to
it showed
the situation.
It's so yes, it's so authentic because it showed the people who agreed with them or was rooting for them. I should say that the people who was rooting for them and like, you know, like watching with admiration and hoping that they get away, and then it showed the people in our community who didn't agree with them. You know what I mean? And more importantly, it showed the effects of both.
Yep.
Like the extremes of both, right? Like how it can be really good, right? And then the really bad and horrible. Yeah. Like there's some. Oh my God, man, the movie.
And the reason why I asked, because that dates back to slavery days and how some people wanted to be free, and you had some of us that were like, no, just go along with this flow, because as long as we live, then we're good. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself in a situation to get yourself killed.
Right.
So that's why I asked.
Yeah, no, man, and when you see the and when you see the initial situation, the situation that we all know that takes place based on the trailer, like trying to figure out how else that situation was going to pan out, and you know, people love to be like, and people love to be like, oh, they had to
analyze. Like, first of all, it's a movie. Everything that happened had to happen in order for it to be a fucking movie called Queen and fucking Slim. But if they'd have changed this, then it wouldn't have been the fucking movie, asshole.
But also, it puts us back into today, what's going on in today's world, especially with us in our own communities. Like, your life can be taken if you don't fight. Your life will be taken if you do fight. So it's almost like, which side of the spectrum, which extreme do you take? Do you fight for your life, especially when you're in the right, you fight for your life and live an extra few days? Or do you, you know what I mean, give whatever is asked of you and still lose your life anyway? So it's a catch-22 behind that. That's the reason why I asked those type of
it's so, and it's funny. So I'll just kind of not focus on the movie and focus on myself, because I'm a person who I've been in a few situations with law enforcement where me saying too much or me getting like in my feelings or whatever could have potentially put everybody I was with in harm's way. But I'm definitely a person that when I feel like I've been wrong and you're acting like I'm not, right? And like it's real hard for me to not say anything. You know, I think of a situation where this was just a ticket. Like I was being ticketed in New York. And it was literally like it was because we were double parked. I was picking up my nephew. I was picking up Greg, and as I and Shell had been out there the whole time, and right in front of people who could have ticketed her, and you know nothing happened. She never turned her engine off. She was just waiting for us to come back out with the person we picked up. And so as I show up, an officer comes over and starts writing a ticket. And I was like, listen, I'm not pretending like we weren't like parked here or when we weren't in the area we weren't supposed to be. My concern is the fact that like after you give us this ticket and hold us here longer, because clearly you want us to leave, right? Are you going to also ticket the 10 cars behind us who are all double parked?
Yeah.
Because if you are, I would like to see that happen. Right. Because I'm just like, because it's not like they're all fleeing right now. Even as you're giving us a ticket, people are still here.
Like, yeah, whatever.
So, you know what I mean? And like, so I start basing and like, I was on 100. And he just gave the paperwork and just walked off, which was probably, you know what I mean, for the best. Because it definitely, like, I was on 1 million. And then I had another situation where we were protesting in New York around the time it was over after school program, and they were trying to cut after school funds in New York. And so me, the homie, Perozo, and a whole bunch of other folks, we went out there because we all worked in the school system. And so we went out there to protest, and we witnessed a situation where we started to roll up to a particular area, and the officer literally lets a group of white people, basically, he lets a group of people pass through that particular area. They didn't have on any special credentials or anything. And keep in mind, it wasn't like blocked off to begin with, right? But then as we rolled up, he literally grabbed something, blocked it off, and then told us we could not go that way. And so then I asked him why. I was like, sir, this is where the protest is taking place, correct? He was like, yeah. He's like, but you guys can't go that way. I'm like, sir, we're showing out of identification. Like, we all served in the school system. This whole thing is taking place because of people like us who work and serve. Why can't we go through there? Right? I was like, and he's like, yeah, nobody can go. I was like, correction. You just let a group of people go through there. I'm just asking you why we can't go through there. That's a fair question. Right? Because you just said nobody can't go through, but you clearly just let a group of people through. And I'm not trying to play the race thing. I'm just trying to get you to say it. Because maybe there's an actual reason that you let them through and not letting us through. But because you're not saying what the reason is, now you're making me feel like it's a race thing. And so I'm like, I'm so elevated, right? I'm a dude that when I get overly mad, if I don't respond with in a physical manner, I start to well up. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling myself getting hot. And the audience, the crowd, the people near us or whatever, it was some elders there was telling me to chill out. Yeah, man, it was just, it was all bad. I was just I was on 1 million, but that type of stuff, this whole, you don't have to, you're a public servant. So you thinking that you do not have to explain yourself to me, that's bullshit.
Yeah, you work.
You know what I mean? You work for us, right? It's your job to keep us safe. So all you had to do in that moment was say the reason why you didn't let it go. But I feel like I was made to feel like the reason you didn't let us go is because we were a group of black men, and it was as simple as that. No matter how educated we were, no matter the fact that we were ourselves are public servants because we work in the public school system. Just, you know what I mean? We're out here trying to make people's lives better, like you're supposed to be doing. So the least you could do is explain that to us why we couldn't go through that, because that could have avoided the whole situation. So anyway, man, I think I would highly recommend checking out Queen and Slim. You will experience every emotion. Yeah, it's drama, it's comedy, it's action, it's art.
It's very little action. Don't sell the action.
I'm just saying all of those elements exist.
They do exist in the movie. Yeah. Do not go for the action, though.
I'm not saying it's an action movie. I'm saying it's a complete movie. Most movies that are marketed as drama usually have everything in it. For example, The Irishman is a drama, right? but there's a whole lot of people getting shot in the face. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't call it action though. There's a lot of people getting shot, but I wouldn't call it action. It's just motherfuckers getting shot. Like there's no scenes.
It's a
like
drama.
nobody, ain't no bunch of ducking behind cars. It's just person, gun, shot, gone, dead. It's drama. But there are scenes in it that you would typically associate with action. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. What am I sipping on? Thank you for asking.
Way to transition there, Mugen. Right. This is getting too heavy. Talk about them beverages. I think this beer getting to the Michael Vick joint.
So we got 2 IPAs tonight. I just brought Tropicana back because it's so fucking good.
Okay.
And Stone IPA. This is cool, but this is. I think this might be my top choice for IPAs, like forever.
Citrus,
yeah, dude. Like it's bursting with citrus, man. Like you can taste every citrus fruit in here. So that's what I got. Stone IPA.
I was proud of
Tropicana
because when he said it, I was like, "Old Stan would have been like, pause, right?" But like I was holding out
Peanut Gallery,
and then my man Cash in the clutch, like, "Nah, I'm gonna go ahead."
Peanut Gallery.
Go ahead, hit the pause button on that one. It's like bursting with
citrus.
You can taste every bit of fruit in here. All of the nuts.
So there you go, Mugen.
Boys will be.
I hope I gave you a good.
I even said shot in the face doesn't go to see movie. Yeah, man. But yeah. So
no, but that's
about.
Yeah, that sounds like a very interesting movie,
dude.
I want to see
great conversation starter.
Yeah, I want to see it. But also, before I segue into the Michael Vick stuff, what about that other cop movie that's supposed to be coming out soon? I'm really interested in seeing that
one. What's it called? You remember who's in it?
Trying to think. I can think of that girl with Tyrese and that girl.
New York based. New York based. No, you talking about? Yeah, I know what movie you talking about. This is
you're not talking about 21 Bridges, are you?
No, that's that with Bozeman.
Yeah.
No, it's New York based. It's the guy who plays Little C's.
Yeah.
He's in it.
I can't remember who played Little C's.
Funny looking dude.
Yeah, he was.
He's a B-list actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the basics of it is real dope. Apparently it's a black officer who's undercover. He runs into it, gets into it with a white officer who treats him like crap because
he doesn't know he's undercover.
He announces that he's undercover. I don't know how that whole argument turns into somebody getting shot, but then it becomes strategic. Strictly, the boys in blue going against each other based off of race. It looks really good. I'll find the link and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, definitely want to check that out. Hey, before I forget, real quick, just to let y'all know, like in the past or whatever, you've had the ability to go ahead and click on the money symbol to do super chat. I would say going forward, I'm gonna actually turn that feature off. No longer do you need to do that. If you go into the descriptions, there's this new service that I signed up to, which will allow you guys to do tips over there. So you just follow the link and it'll allow you to do a tip on the video. And instead of me having to wait a long period of time for that money to process, that money will come right away, and then I'll be able to hook up my brothers. You know what I mean? So that's only for and there's no pressure. If you do it, great. If you don't, it's all love. We have a great time doing this weekend and week out regardless. Clearly, we're still here. So, but I'm just letting you know, if you ever did want to throw a tip our way, you do have the ability to do that. It's in the description. You can see that. All right. So I just wanted to say that. And now, sir, J Cash with our sports update this week.
So what up, Wendy?
Wendy.
What's up, Wendy? A lot of stuff has been moving in sports. We're nearing the playoffs, getting close to the playoffs, so NFL is heating up. College basketball is booming. A whole lot of stuff, black and blue.
Yes. Malcolm Jackson in the clutch.
Jackson,
what up, Malcolm?
Yeah, I think that is it. Black and Blue. Yeah, that's a movie that you got. In fact, we should all go.
That might be a good joint.
Yeah, that one is deep. Not to say that Queen and Slim wasn't, but that one in particular, yeah. Ice-T is a cameo in it as well.
Okay.
But anyway, NFL is kicking off. We're nearing what's called the Pro Bowl. For those that don't know what the Pro Bowl is, it is basically a game which nobody really cares about anymore. In which
I can't remember the last time I watched
it.
When I was watching football.
Yeah, so Pro Bowl is your best athletes in both conferences, the AFC, the NFC, They get, that's right, Garrett Terps, 10-0, baby. So the AFC and the NFC, they get their best players, and then they have a game. It used to take place in Hawaii. Now they moved it from Hawaii, and it's played in different arenas. They're trying to equate it to the NBA All-Star game.
Right.
It's failing. Basically.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, it's failing. So
I don't think it's ever been held in the same regard as.
No. So now they've come up with a new system where they're captains for the AFC and the NFC Pro Bowl. This year they selected Michael Vick to be one of the captains.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael Vick saying, it's an honor to be a captain. Now, mind you, Michael Vick hasn't played football in approximately 6 years, I want to say. So it's been a while since Michael Vick's played football. But he was selected as a Pro Bowl captain. In the process of him being selected, some people out there signed petitions that equated to 283,000 people saying that they didn't want him to be a captain of the Pro Bowl. The reason for that is because Michael Vick was convicted of animal cruelty and leaving the dogfighting ring.
Wasn't that over a decade ago?
12 years ago. So 12 years ago, Michael Vick was convicted for dogfighting.
Bullshit.
Right. He was convicted of dogfighting. He served 19 months in prison for dogfighting. He came out into the league, and mind you, at the point where he was arrested, he was the highest paid player in the NFL, period. Not amongst quarterbacks, not amongst linemen, wide receivers. He was at the time the highest paid player in the NFL. So he basically got arrested and lost all that. Came back out in a redemption story where he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. From the Eagles, he moved on to the Jets. From the Jets, he moved on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he was a backup, right? And then he retires. So this has been years of Michael Vick not playing a down in the NFL. But in order to make him honorary, a captain, people are upset about him, and they're basically making him relive what he was already convicted for and already paid the price for all over again. Which goes to show you that in this country, it really doesn't matter that you do serve your time. It doesn't matter that you already faced the penalty and did pay the price for something. And we're talking about losing $100 million.
I was wondering if that goes for everyone.
No, it doesn't.
Other than, of course not.
No,
Black people. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I don't know all things white.
No, it doesn't.
And I don't know all things black.
No.
But there seems to be a disparity.
You also got to remember at the time what Michael Vick, when he was at the peak of the NFL, what he stood for. He was Newport News, cornrows, baggy jeans, real urban, as they say. He was that. Well, and he was everything they hated about.
He was doing some lame things from time to time, but he was not a bad apple at all.
Let me ask you this: what do you expect when you get a guy that you pull from the hood? You send him to Virginia Tech. He goes to Virginia Tech for a year or two, and then he goes off to the NFL. We're talking about somebody who's literally 20 years old when you're giving him millions of dollars, and all he's known all his life was hood stuff. Dogfighting is some hood stuff. I remember my stepsister's boyfriend / husband / he fought dogs or whatever. I'll never forget his dog's name was Gator. He was a big, intimidating pit bull. You know what I mean? He was a beast, you know what I mean? And that's what they did. They dog fought. I'm not saying that it was right, but it's some hood shit. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm
not saying that it's wrong.
No, it's definitely it's not right. But honestly, that's how hood made man. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm not an animal dude.
Yeah.
Animals fighting, isn't that what they do? Don't animals fight like people fight?
Not on that level.
Well,
I'm just saying.
The difference is,
people build them to fight.
Right. It's like they're treating it like it's a sport. Where does the dog benefit in that situation? It does not. You know what I mean? It's like a person.
Dogs ain't gotta pay no bills.
I mean, yeah,
I'm just
but
playing devil's advocate here, man.
They do have to pay what they like. There are dogs that are killed. Yeah, there are dogs that are killed.
As a black man in America, I could give a fuck about a dog. I could give a fuck about an animal out here as a black man in America being shot for fucking Skittles and selling DVDs. Right. So fuck your dog.
Yeah,
got you. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Right.
Fuck all of it.
Well,
right.
I'm sorry.
It's alright.
No. But that is a subject like, dog, I loathe that conversation because I'm black. And that's the only explanation I need to give.
Let me agree with you, and let me disagree with you at the same time. I'm agree with you because too often we've been pitted against each other entertainment-wise. Okay, so we're talking about Michael Vick in the NFL and what he did with dogs. You can draw a direct parallel between Michael Vick fighting dogs and putting 250-pound dudes on a football field running smack into each other in front of a Coliseum type environment.
For entertainment. Right. And then you go watch people fight for entertainment. The difference is, like, these are people who made the choice to do it.
That's true.
Right? And haven't been necessarily forced into it. Even though some people do make the choice because they don't feel like they have any other way out.
That is the truth.
So
I'm drawing the parallel to say I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, it is against the law and it's just cruel to an extent for an animal. It is. Now I look at cops. Their main job.
I can't hear, like, this is sounding like just gibberish because when my man was selling DVDs, it's ridiculous for a nigga to get choked out for selling fucking cigarettes and DVDs.
We got you. So, like,
there's no way
I'm not trying to convince you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help you understand. Hold on.
I'm gonna let you finish. Yeah. And then I'm gonna tell you on something I know where you're going.
I'm just saying that, like, what I'm saying is, right, it's absolutely wrong what happens to us, but that does not mean it's absolutely like that. What happens to the dogs isn't wrong either.
No, I agree. I fully agree.
So that's all we're trying.
But I'm better than the fucking dog.
I'm just saying. And not
again, I'm agreeing with you while I'm disagreeing with you. The reason why is because this country has placed black men underneath dogs as far as who they care about. And so I know exactly where you're going with it. You know
it's probably exotic birds to get more respect than black men. So
there's a long list.
It's a long list of things that come before black men. You know what I mean? And dogs happen to be one of them. And this is a guy who amassed 6 figures over something that he trained for all of his life and played a sport for, put himself in harm's way. You know what I mean? Because back then they didn't even have the rules now where you protect the quarterback. So if you got hit, you just got hit. You know what I mean? But the point is, he amassed all these millions playing a sport or whatever, and even after serving time for what he did, people still want more punishment for something that he paid the price for already. So the value for his life is still less than what happened for the
value for our lives.
That is true. That is true.
Agreed.
And I get it because it makes it hard to feel any type of empathy for animals when nobody feels empathy for black men.
Yes,
and that's I know where you're going with it. I know it, but I know where you're going with it. But I'm walking that tightrope because at the end of the day, if you ask 2 basic questions, you can't disagree with it. Is it wrong? Yes. You know what I mean? Is it fair? No. So fair is relative, I know. But at the same time, they are dogs within your possession. If they had the freedom to turn on you at any point without them being put down, that'd be a totally different story right now. You know what I mean? But they're in your possession. So if you say sick them and you say go get them, you know what I mean? You're unleashing a lethal weapon on somebody or something. You know what I mean? So that part of the accountability and responsibility falls on you. You know what I mean? It's no different than if I got Jalen, you know what I mean, out there to go beat up some 5th grade. You know what I mean? If I send him out, I'm like, Jalen, go whoop this little kid. You know what I mean? And though he's still a minor, he's still an older minor. I'm literally sending him to force harm on somebody else. So that falls on me. You know what I mean? So therefore, I do understand that aspect of it. But I definitely understand your point of view of it when it comes to the pecking order of how this country treats black men in comparison to their pets and their animals.
And I understand what you're saying. Right.
It's hard
on
to.
the other side of the fence. I can't care. I cannot care about dogs.
It's hard to.
I can't care about domesticated animals. Animals, period. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like when I see my people, like my man True was saying, you know, you riding past your people all day long on the streets, needing help, needing food, but you got these fucking commercials with these dogs with tears in their eyes. Like I ain't seen a near commercial with any of these. And not even just black homeless people, with homeless people, period. I haven't seen that near commercial. But you got these commercials where somehow they find ways to make dogs make sad faces. I'm sorry, because I'm being a jerk to beings that can't even speak on their own behalf.
Let's see, I think... I think
it's an honest feeling. And that's okay.
It really is.
Just, like, I think what people need to understand, right? Like your point of view on it is definitely the point of view of a good amount of people, which is I absolutely agree that like it's ridiculous that somehow an animal's life is valued more than specifically a black person's life, right? And I think for all of the people who love animals and stuff like that, like that's great. But just remember when you go to sit at your plate later and you crush it like your hamburger and all of that shit, how much you give a fuck about an animal. So, you know what I mean? Just, you know, I'm just throwing that out there too. Because like, I just find it amazing when I meet people who are like, so like, no, you can't do this, that. But then I'm like, dog, you consume them on a regular basis, right? And let's be clear that the conditions that those animals that you consume are kept in on a regular basis is definitely cruel and unusual punishment. Like it's like so. I mean, you know, it's hypocritical at best for a good amount of the people who make that argument. It's different if you out here and you don't consume the shit. You don't even consume like the things that are extracted from them. You know what I mean? So you know,
it's somebody's pet. It's a cow out here. That's somebody's fucking.
Yeah, no, that's
like
real
shit.
That's
real shit,
right? Because
they taste great.
But listen.
Not disagreeing with you. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
the reason why.
Think about it.
See, I think everything boils down to one basic psychology, one basic psychosis, and that's one of them is domesticated. And I think for the longest time, this country, I'm sorry, I to my core still believe this. This country is still pissed off that we were once the domesticated animals that they used to their benefit. And now that they're not, you know what I mean? They look at dogs like, well, they look at us like, well, what good are you?
Yeah, you're not doing what we want you to do anymore, so we don't fucking need you.
Thank you.
Right.
And for them to, it's always this need to dominate something or somebody. You know what I mean? And in this case, you have a dog. Now, oh, I love my dog. My dogs love me. Do your dogs love you because they depend on you and that's why you reciprocate that love? Or do you have a genuine love?
No, because it's a domesticated animal. It's an animal that you have snatched all of its instinctual characteristics away and they can't speak and get paid, so they can't go out and get their own shit anymore. So now they have to rely on you. So yeah, I'm gonna be loyal as shit to the only source of food and shelter that I have. But as soon as you show them that there's something else, a lot of the motherfuckers end up turning on their owners. Look at the monkey that ripped the face off the lady. You a dumbass want to have a monkey in the house. The motherfucker's smart as shit. That nigga got to a point where he was like, alright, I don't need this bitch no more. What's that? No face no more. Right. I'm sorry, man. But that is nature. That is nature getting its best fucking dessert, man. No face no more.
Yeah, but it's true. Man. It's true. Like
I hate you, Sherm. Yeah.
There's
They need to dominate. They need to dominate something.
Yeah.
And because they feel like we're not that pet anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
that's a fucking dope. It's not a dope perspective. Wait a minute. Not dope at all. It is a very.
It's a good observation.
Yes, that is great, man.
Believe you me, when we were slaves and they had us buck fighting, it was for sport. It was go kill this dude.
It was the
for me and
same
everything.
shit.
And if you do that, I'm gonna reward you. It's the same concept. So now that we're not that pet, it's like, okay, now we transition that into dogs. And God forbid, what?
Your dad said what got into that monkey?
Monkey.
Oh my God, young.
Yo, wow.
That's funny as shit.
Monkey. You remember? Oh shit! A whole ass monkey here, lady. Give me that face.
Monkey. Oh God, yeah.
Oh man.
So that's
God.
honestly, I don't know.
Your real tears, though.
I don't know where.
God.
Nobody knows right now where. Well, let me say this.
Man, fuck the Pro Bowl, man.
Well, yeah,
that part.
I'm not Pro Bowl. What is it? Yeah, it's Pro Bowl.
My thing is this. Where do you go from here? Because if you give these people their way, what message is that sending for the NFL?
Well, as far as what you think Mike Vick should fight for it? I think Mike Vick should say
well,
fuck
right now,
it.
Mike has already accepted it. So the only thing that can happen is the petitions can be enough for them to say, yeah, you know what, we don't want to do, because right now the people are hitting up the sponsors of the NFL. And they're like, yeah, don't buy anything from the sponsors of the NFL until Michael Vick is removed.
See, that's enough reason to walk the fuck away from football, man. Like, that's enough reason right there. Like, that's too much to go with me for a fucking, like, just to be the captain of the Pro Bowl game. You going through all of this shit. It don't even matter. And you, like, this will be the perfect moment for Mike Vick to be like, okay, this is what we doing. All right, let me hear this both sides. Yeah.
The irony,
pull that Atlanta move again. Fuck y'all.
The irony is he's basically been an analyst for the NFL all these years since his retirement. So when it's okay for you to be on the sideline as long as you don't have any type of accolades. The second that they're ready to give him an accolade. And see, I know
now it's like, oh nah.
Yeah. Now what's gonna happen when the Hall of Fame start coming around? When he's eligible for the Hall of Fame, that's gonna be
they're gonna be doing the same shit. They're gonna be doing the same shit.
Yeah. So that's that. Jay Soul,
Johnny, tomorrow Sherm will go to the zoo and start cussing at animals. Y'all ain't shit.
Hey, yes, hey, Wellington. Hey, one of us needs to make a shirt out of that joint, because that's how I feel.
The only thing Sherm hates more than dogs is Baby Yoda.
Yeah. They didn't pull Vick from the Pro Bowl, did they?
Nah.
They still.
I think he needs to walk away, man. Fuck that.
I'm kind of on the fence. Like, if
I'm talking about walk away from the complete shit. Like, fuck, like that. Like what I was just saying.
But
I think that's
win.
enough.
They win.
So, does he win by showing up? Like, how is that a win?
Because it's like, if he still offered these opportunities. And the people who have the issue can't strip him of those opportunities, he still got it on his term.
I'm just like, at this point, man, give white people they shit, and we need to start doing our own shit. Fuck they shit. We always want our piece of their shit. Fuck they shit, man. We need to start doing our own shit, man. Fuck everything about that. Not all of them, please. I love the allies. I'm just talking about the crackers. I'm only talking about the crackers, not the allies.
So I think it's important to understand that, we have the opportunity to walk away all the time, but folks don't do it. Like, for example, the NFL has made it real clear their stance on certain things. Motherfuckers still watch games. You know what I'm saying? Now, look, I ain't out here actively judging motherfuckers for watching, right? But what I'm saying is, right, if that's, I sometimes hear people say exactly what you're saying, but they actively participate in the same bullshit that they got an issue with. And so it just requires a certain amount of discipline. If you know something is wrong, but then you actively like taking part in the shit, you know what I'm saying? You become part of the problem, right? Especially when people like you have the most power in the situation. What percentage of the NFL is black?
75.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like at any point in time, and then the sister even said, she was like, yo, like even talking about on a college level, right? Like, yo, if you're a great player, like and that decides to take your opportunity as opposed to taking your talent to Duke or another particular school, you decided to go to every HBCU that like.
And see, that's why I wanted to jump in there, because I would love to see us take our talents and use it for us. Like the same way we had a Negro Baseball League. I would love to see that happen. The problem is they've already got this head start in this big machine that's already running, where it's so deep into big business and big numbers that we don't have the capital yet.
So what could be done? What could be done is, and when I say start your, when I say start your own shit, I also mean just getting out of something and going to another table where your demands can be met. You can take all this shit to the CFL. All of these players can go to the CFL and say, look.
XFL as well, right? What's that? That's
XFL is new. It's just
the CFL has more of a
I was just saying they got options.
More
not just one
of a
option.
stride.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm just saying they got more than one option.
If we go to them and say, look, we're willing, all of us are willing to walk away from the NFL if you will meet our demands, every demand that we're asking you for, we'll bring all of this talent here. Because you can't, I mean, you ain't gonna get no viewership with a bunch of quarterbacks and linemen. Nah, you're not. So shit can happen. It's just, you know, the way shit's been set up in America, and you know,
what I think they need is the same thing I think we need on a community scale. We need a 10-year plan. So all these athletes that are getting $20-30 million a year, even on a small scale, $2 million a year, we need to say, all right, we need to pool some of these resources. We need a union that actually gives a fuck about the players, first of all. We need to pool some of these resources, and that way we'll build the capital to say, you know what, we want to combat the NFL, because right now the NFL is a monopoly. There is a CFL. Right now there is an XFL. This isn't the first XFL.
Yeah.
It failed before because the NFL is so big. So that machine, like I said, they already had a head start a long time ago. It's just now we understand more of the business side of it. And it's the same way with everything in business. In the music industry, the same way. It's a machine that's already there. In order for you to combat that machine, you need a capital and a plan to do it. And I think that we're not smart enough, and they bank on us not being smart enough business-wise to know what to do with our money in order to pool that, to come up with a system that is a direct adversary of the NFL. And once we do that, then we'll be able to say, you know what, we're going to take our talents to someplace else if you guys can't meet our demands. Yes, we're 75-80% of the players, but we want to be 50% of the front office.
There needs to be a black union within the NFL.
And the reason why I bring that up is because Stan brought up a point about the HBCUs. The main reason why high school kids do not go to HBCUs, taking their talents to a historical black college in order to play.
Because the recruiters are white.
But it's not just the recruiters. It's the machine behind it. When you look at your Alabama football, when you look at your SEC football, when you look at your ACC basketball, these big machines have big TV money behind it. The TV money and the TV sponsors and all this being put on display is what brings you to that next level. Ain't nobody watching Howard versus Hampton, Bowie State versus you know what I'm saying, Virginia State. Nobody's watching those games. You know what I mean? You may have one or two scouts that may go, but then you know what they always say? Well, they play for HBCU, and HBCUs don't have the top level of competition. We're gonna go with, you know,
and that's an absolute lie, because it's an HBCU. There's black people there, so that's not true.
Yeah, but the stigma is no different than how a lot of us still view Africa as a pauper's land.
Right.
That's filled with a bunch of famine and kids that starve and eat. because they tell you that,
Right.
and they make you believe that. And it's the same thing when it comes to HBCUs. You don't want to go to an HBCU because nobody's gonna see you, and if nobody sees you, you can't
You
get
ain't
national.
going nowhere.
Come to Duke, come to North Carolina, come to where, and we talked about this before the show actually, come to a place where, your student section ain't gonna have no people that look like you, but you're gonna be here 1 or 2 years, and then you're gonna have an
Then
opportunity.
you're gonna get that cut. Yep, and that's what we hear. That's all we hear.
That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So not that, for those that are out there that don't know sports like that, that's a major part of the reason why we are where we are when it comes to that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Fuck the NFL. Fuck anybody that doesn't love all people. And fuck domesticated animals. And fuck Baby Yoda.
Oh my God. Speaking of baby, this is going back to music for a second. What did you think of your boy on SNL?
I didn't. First of all, his performance was horrible. One of the worst I've seen.
No,
the only the problem I had was he was rapping over his own music, and his music was louder.
Over his own lyrics.
Over his own lyrics, and his lyrics were louder than his live his performance was. Like, everything else that was going on was cool. It was overdone, though, for the stage show. Like, he tried to bring the video to the stage, and it was too much. It was too many people. It was too much changing going on, and the changes didn't really make a lot of sense.
Got your girl clapping on the like on the handstand joint, like while he rapping.
That was so pointless.
Yeah,
that was so pointless.
That was her main move.
That's in the video.
That's in the video too.
Right, for the next song, like the same thing. Like, we gonna do this. Oh, we did. We saw it.
Yeah,
right?
we
got it.
We got this all the time. Yeah, he didn't need to be on there. His little skit was not that funny. Like, when he came out of the joint.
I don't know if it's my age, but I'm hating this shit.
What, that episode?
Oh, I'm just...
Nah, I think he's talking about the music.
The music?
Yeah.
What?
I'm hating it.
What, his music in particular?
He is everything that we don't need. Like, I'm sitting there...
Oh, no, the nigga can rap, dog.
No.
Oh, yeah.
He absolutely can. James, the nigga can rap. It's undeniable. He can rap his ass off at that. No. He's just not he's not an artist. He's a rapper. He's not an artist. He can put rhyme like...
I've heard.
And technically, that makes you an artist. But I'm talking about the technical. I'm talking about the technical side.
Like, he don't really care about the other side.
Yeah, all he does is you put a beat on and he attacks it, and he's good at that shit. But when you throw any change up in there, he can't change up. His subject matter is very very, very small.
He's a minstrel show. I don't fuck with him.
He's not a minstrel show.
He's a complete minstrel show.
He's not.
He did one verse that I fuck with, and that was on Dreamers, and I gave his album a shot.
I did too, because of that. His album is trash.
I regret it every minute.
But he's a new artist too, though.
You don't get no why Corday is a new artist, and this shit was flame.
YBN Corday had a lot of capital behind him. A lot. The nigga has Robert Glasper on his album, dog. Let's be serious here.
But who's being pushed in the limelight right now? YBN Corday or
obviously it's gonna be the baby because of the type of music he makes. It's only because of the type of music.
Minstrel show.
But he's not like it's. I wouldn't call it minstrel show because he's not tap dancing. He's just rapping,
in front of everybody.
He's funny. He's funny as shit. His videos are funny as shit. All of his videos are funny.
Because it's ratchet as fuck.
No, he plays characters in all of his videos. It's not a bunch of chicks. It's characters. He plays a milkman in one joint. Then the Suge joint, he plays the strong character. It's not a bunch of freaky shit. The nigga he's just not polished. I think he could end up being something, but right now he's no good. And
what direction do you see the baby going?
He made it to a Dreamville album and bodied that shit. So there's obviously some redeeming qualities there.
One verse.
That's redeeming qualities.
One verse.
That's still redeeming qualities.
Listen, if I want to pen one verse, I'm sure I can come up with some flame shit. You give me some time.
On a Dreamville album, in a song with J. Cole, dog. Like, come on.
Yes.
J. Cole loot in the No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That shows just like Lil B. Just like Lil B. Lil B showed that he's doing what he's doing for the sake of being paid. And that's what you're in this shit for. It's a business. It's the music business.
He did one verse that was flame. Then that's the whole album. And I'm like,
the album is just not good to hip-hop niggas. Like, we're like, dog, come on. Like, our ears aren't like the typical ear. the nigga is not like, if you're talking about just on average, the nigga's not trash. He's trash to us. He can rap his ass off. He can rap. Cohesive lyrics. Cohesive lyrics. Dog, you can follow the lyrics. You can follow what he's saying. Like, it's not like he's
telling the story. I give you a point. He's telling the story, but his story's still trash.
No, it's not. It's just not what we prefer. It's not trash.
Right.
We're gonna take this up next week.
Right. A couple things real quick.
Paperboy, Joe, you stupid shit.
Yo, a couple quick things. First of all, even though I wasn't a fan of his music like that, rest in peace.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely unfortunate.
Stay off the lane, folks.
On some like lifting my brother up, man. Super happy birthday to the homie Kokai. We love you, bro. Like, man, like,
happy birthday,
and he has a new album that should be dropping at the end of this week. So make sure y'all support Kokai. Thank y'all for watching. A couple of quick things. Kwanzaa's coming up. It is definitely that time of year. We are having a Kwanzaa celebration at Creative Suitland in Prince George's County, Maryland. It is free to the public. If you are a vendor and you want to set up and sell your merchandise or whatever it is you do, make sure you contact us via our website, subartandmusic.com, to get more info. Also, what was it? There was something else I wanted to tell you guys. Another reminder about the tipping feature for those of you who definitely want to give us support to the show. Please do that. Reminder, hopefully if all goes well with the building of the Substantial Art and Music offices, hopefully by next month you will see us in January moving the show to there and all that good stuff. And you can follow us on Instagram. We're going to start posting a lot more via Instagram as we start to move into the new location and all of that. So I think I covered everything. Yeah. By the way, Kokai got a show next Sunday from 4 to 7. Promoting the new record. It's like an album release joint. It's at Halcyon, which is an artist space, which is really dope. And he's also doing an exhibit, which is his photography. So the photos that go with the album.
So do we go there and leave early to do the show? Or
I'm saying we go there to do. I'm saying we try to do the show there.
You want to try it again?
So I've been there. I know for a fact they got a good internet connection. So we just gotta make sure everything else of ours is in place and stuff, and then we good.
J Cash is there. We're going to pick up these conversations next week.
So we're going to see what's up. Hopefully we can go ahead and continue all this dopeness over there at Halcyon. We'll talk about it some more and see if that's the plan or not. Be dope to be able to chop it up with Coke right after his album drop. I think that'd be kind of cool. So we'll see. We'll see.
Got that J-Soul.
Yes, and J-Soul only has 3 copies left of his vinyl. Make sure y'all pick it up before you can't pick it up. You can stream the hell out of it on all the platforms. Shout out to Joe.d.
Can you post links in here?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead and post the link. You good. And if
I know you want to talk about your music, because I know you don't want to talk about them Cowboys. 3 in a row.
Hey, well, yo, we got to go. We got to get out of here, man. We will see y'all next week. Make sure you tune in. And all that good stuff, all right? Y'all have a good night, man. Thank y'all. Peace.